screwed up schedule, he goes to Indiana. I wouldn't let him in English class. She let me in.
Okay, good. Say it about 10-2. All right. All right, I'm just turning the mic off and I'll leave it over.
Right there.
No, but I mean, I gotta...
His phone always yelling at him in the mornings when I did the mornings.
He's all right. He's a workaholic.
Well, that's good. I won't put one on him.
Marion won the toss and elected to defer to the second half, and the Lakes are going to receive to start the game.
Holy.
State semifinal game between the Lakeland and Hubble Lakes just coming onto the field and the Marion Eagles from downstate. The Lakes, of course, are 11-0 on the season. Coming into this game today, Marion is 10-1 on the season. You just heard from Tom Cutler, the coach of the Eagles, and a little bit about his team, which isn't very little. They're big on the line. Stand by, Lakeland and Hubble against Marion. Here this afternoon as the big Marion Eagles are set to kick off to the Lakes. I guess you said that the Eagles won the toss, but they elected to defer.
Yeah, the Eagles won the opening toss and elected to defer to the second half, so they're kicking off to the Lakes and the game is underway.
And here we go. Oh, and here we don't go.
We have a delay. There's something on the field. We have something on the field between the 45 and 50-yard line, something shining. I don't know if it's glass or whatever it is, but there's something down there.
Yeah, they're just about ready to kick off. Number 33 for the Eagles, Keg Prilip. But these Eagles just give us an opportunity to discuss how big this team is in the line, Al.
Well, they're bigger than Michigan Tech. I don't know if they're as big as the Lions, but their average weight across the middle is probably between 230 and 240 pounds. There's 6 players with that weight, so they are heavy.
Alrighty, and of course these two teams are not unfamiliar with each other. They played each other in a state semifinal a couple of years ago in St. Ignace, you'll recall.
Yes, no, that was in Newberry, and final outcome of that game was 15-14. The Lakes were ahead in that game 14-7 late into the game, and Marion came back and scored a 2-point conversion at the end, and they won 15-14. They're going to let it ride. I think it's the coin for the coin toss.
Already, Prilep is teeing it up from the 40. The game is underway. End over end kick. It's a good one at the 15. Barkel up across the 25, 30, brought down at the 31. Pretty fair return.
Yeah, Barkel took that kickoff on about the 10, and he ran straight ahead to the 30, where the Lakes will take over first and 10. And looking at the lineup for the Marion Eagles, it looks like they're playing a college team. Those guys are so big that their numbers are twice the size of the Lake Linden players.
Well, there's certainly. I asked Coach Butler where he got all these big kids for a small D school, and he says, I don't know, must be the water. Anyway, it's first and 10 for the Lakes. This game underway. The ball at the 31-yard line. There's a handoff, and fighting for a couple of tough yards. That's about it, was Marcotte.
Yeah, Marcotte ran over right tackle, picked up about 4 yards. The formation that we've seen is one we haven't seen earlier this year. Lakes are running from a very wide spread formation.
So it's a second down. He did manage to get 4 on that play, so it is a 2nd and 6. The ball marked at the 34-yard line of the Lakes. 2nd down and 6. The winner will meet Sand Creek at the Silverdome next Saturday morning for the Class Double D State Championship. Well, we've got another delay down on the field now, too, as the kicker there, Cade Prilep, had to tie his shoelaces. Now we're ready to go. Peters, the quarterback, calls the signals for the Lakes. Here's a pitch out left side. Miller fumbles it. He has to fall on it inside his own 30.
Yeah, that pitch went, it looked like Miller wanted to run with the ball before he got the pitch, and he lost about 9 yards and fell on the ball on his own 29-yard line.
So it's back to the 29. That'll bring up a 3rd and long. 3rd down and about 15 for the Lakes. Oh my, a little mistake, but a costly one here early in the game. 10.5 minutes left in the opening quarter. Peters calls the signal. He rolls to his right, and he's going to run it. He's got a little room up across the 35 to about the 39-yard line. He's going to be short of a first down by about a yard.
That was an excellent run by Peters. He rolled out to his right, and it didn't even look like there was any receivers down the field. It was a running play all the way, and he gained about 14 or 15 yards. It's going to bring up a 4th and 1 with the ball on the Lakes' 39-yard line.
Well, a little bit too early to start thinking about going for it, don't you say?
Well, I don't know what the situation is. Looks like Marcotte's lined up deep. I think Ron Warner's going to play this a little conservative.
So he's going to punt the ball away. The Lakes just a yard shy from picking up that first down. There's Marcotte's kick. It's caught at the 30-yard line. Up to the 40. The ball carrier is Smith. Smith is tackled at about the 44.
Yeah, excellent downfield coverage on that, being it was a very low kick. The ball got downfield very swiftly, but little Barkel got down there just as swiftly and made a tackle after a return of about 7 yards.
So it's a 1st and 10 at the Eagles' 44-yard line. We'll get our first look at the offense of the Eagles now. Smith, the quarterback, calls the signals. He hands it off right side. A little running room for Prilep. Prilep gains about 2 or 3, maybe 4. Let's see where they mark it.
It's about a 4-yard pickup where he was stopped by Andy Ewert. That big line surged and kind of moved the little old blue and gold back 4 yards, and that's as far as he gained.
Now this is a power running team, left and right. As I understand it, they don't put the ball up very often, but they are capable of doing that. But they rely basically on the big running backs and the big linemen to open up the holes. 2nd down and 5. Handoff, second man through. He's tripped up. He gains about a yard. That's McCrimmon.
Yes, excellent tackle in there by Gazelier behind the line of scrimmage, and he fell forward for about a yard and a half. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 4.
Great crowd here this afternoon.
Yes, on the lake side of the field, we probably got about 3,000. I'm guessing there's probably about maybe 750 to 1,000 on the Marion side.
Boy, I'll tell you, I've never seen so many buses at a high school game as I saw when I came in here. A lot of school buses from Marion, a lot of private coaches. From the previous game, Muskegon was here, beaten by Kingsford. Here's a big 3rd down play. Here's a handoff left side. A little bit of running room, short out of a 1st down. Wallers was hit.
Excellent hit in there by Scotty Backus. He held him to about a 2-yard gain. I think it's going to bring up a 4th and 2 on the Lake's 47-yard line.
Now let's see what the Eagles do. They're in a little bit better field position on this 4th down play than the Lake, so I don't know, but looks like they're going to kick it away too. Prilip is back at his own 40-yard line. And Marcotte and Barkel hurry back. They're the deep men. They thought they would go for it. There's the kick. And send over end kick, and it bounces. And they're going to let it bounce. Now it's picked up by Barkel. And Marcotte, and he returns it to the 20. And if he did not, that ball might have rolled dead at about the 10.
Yes, the ball bounced twice and finally bounced high enough where Marcotte picked it up, and he advanced it about 6 yards. The Lakes will take over 1st and 10 on their own 21-yard line.
No score. 7.5 minutes left in the opening quarter, brought to you by Lindris Chevy of Hancock, who have been proud sponsors of high school football and WCCY all season long. Peters to the line of the scrimmage, over the ball. He goes back in the pocket. Now he's going to run it out. He's got a little bit of running room. He's brought down as he crosses the 25 to about the 26.
Peters running on a quarterback option to his left, and he elected to keep it to himself and cut in and picked up about 6 yards. It's going to bring a 2nd and 4.5 with the ball on his own 26-yard line.
That's what you want to do on 1st down, is get that kind of yardage.
Yes, get the big yards so you can do other things and have to get into a situation where you have to play.
All righty, Peters over center. Man in motion left is Miller. Pitch out. Miller leads the blocking for Marcotte. Nowhere to go. He's going to be brought down by a loss. He was hit big time by Bontico.
Yeah, big number 75, who's a svelty 235 pounds, just brushed off his block and caught Marcotte for about a 5-yard or 6-yard loss.
So that brings up a 3rd and 9. The ball at the 21-yard line of the Lakes.
She was working on 75.
Haven't seen anybody break through that Lake Linden line like that this season. Peters, one lone setback, 3 wideouts to the right. Peters goes back to pass, short one up the middle. It's complete. The number 82. That's Jason Evans. He bobbled it, but he caught it. His forward progress will get him a few yards, but far short of a 1st down.
That's going to bring up a 4th and 4 with the ball on their own 31-yard line. He caught the ball, and he was driven back 5 or 6 yards by a host of Eagle tacklers, but they gave him his forward progress. It's going to bring up a 4th and 4 from the 26-yard line.
So Marcotte will punt it away now. The deep men are Wade Smith and McCrimmon. Snap from center. There's the kick. Fielded at the 39 by Smith. Smith up the middle. He's brought down at the 46.
Excellent coverage downfield again by Jakovich. That time he tackled the receiver Smith after a pickup of about 4 yards, and the Eagles will take over on their own, where they spotted, 46-yard line.
Boy, I feel tension in this building tonight.
So do I. I'm sweating already, Norm.
1st and 10. The Lakes have had the ball for 2 offensive drives. Still looking for a 1st down. This is the Eagles' 2nd offensive drive. They're still looking for a 1st down. It's 1st and 10. Handoff to Prilip. Prilip good for about 2 or 3 at about the 48.
Yeah, he towed Scotty Backus for every bit that he gained. He picked up about 2 yards. That was a run off a left tackle. Those Eagles are so big they make the Lake Linden players look like they're grade schoolers.
Yeah, it looks like the Lakes are playing a couple classes up here at the Dome today. As the Eagles break huddle, it's a 2nd down and 8. Smith, the quarterback. Line sets. Smith calls the signal. Second man through. Couple more yards, and that's it. Prilip, the ball carrier.
Another excellent tackle in there by Dan Barkell, who picked up Prilip after a pickup of about 2 yards. The Lakes defensive backs are hustling up to the line and holding them to short gains so far in this game.
Third down now, and 6. 4:07 left here in the opening quarter. As the Eagles come to the line of scrimmage. Ball just over the 50 at the Lakeland and 49. All kinds of movement in the backfield, and the flags fly.
Both backs of the Eagles took off a little early. It looked like the Lakes were red dogging there. A couple of players charging the line and caused the Eagles to get a little anxious. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 11.
So the first penalty of the game, illegal motion, once used to be called backfield in motion. What do they call it now?
Whatever they call it, it wasn't Lake Linden's favor.
3rd and 11. The ball at the 45-yard line of the Eagles. Man in motion right side. Back to pass is Smith. He fires a bomb downfield. It is intercepted. Intercepted by the Lakes. Karanen runs out of bounds at the 40-yard line.
We have a flag down on a 25-yard line. I don't really know what it is at this time, but Joel Karanen went high into the air to pick that ball off and return it about 20 yards.
Well, let's see what the flag is all about. Karanen, of course, with that bad ankle, did not play last week. And the main thing here for the Lakes is that they can keep possession even if the penalty's against them.
We have apparently an interference call against the Lakes. It's going to be a 15-yard penalty. It's going to give Marion a 1st and 10 from the Lakes' 10-yard line.
Well, you mean the Lakes will have the ball?
No, the Lakes don't have the ball. They're going to replay it down. Oh, it's a clip against Lake Linden. They retain the ball on their own 12-yard line.
Yeah. Don't scare me.
Huh?
Don't scare me.
Oh, I got you.
So the Lakes interception stands, but the penalty pushes the ball back to the 12-yard line of the Lakes, where the Lakes go to work now with a 1st and 10. Not very good field position, but they do have the football. Still looking for their 1st down. Miller goes in motion to the right. Handoff goes to the right to Marcotte. Marcotte in a pile-up, a yard or 2 gain, that's it.
Yeah, I don't know what there's a pile of white jerseys. Looks like a pickup of a couple of yards, if anything, there. I can't really see it this time till they clear it away. It looks like going to bring up a 2nd and 9. Marcotte was the ball carrier.
So gain of 1 on the play. Just over 3 minutes left in the opening quarter. There is no score. State Double D semifinal game from the Superior Dome in Marquette.
You got to run wide.
The Lakes come out of the huddle to the line. Peters calls the signals. And he pitches out to Marcotte, left side. He's ridden out of bounds as he crosses the 15.
Yeah, Marcotte picked up about 2 more yards. It's going to bring a 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7. That was excellently diagnosed by number 33 of the Eagles, and he managed to knock him out of bounds without a big gain.
Well, the Lakes really would like to pick up a 1st down here, if for no other reason. If they can't, they're going to give up a pretty good field position to the Eagles on the punt.
Yes, I think this play here is probably the biggest play of the first half so far, with a 3rd and 7 on their own 16-yard line.
Alrighty, up the middle, handoff, spinning Barkell, first down.
Barkell on the inside reverse with his rudder dragging on the ground as usual. Picked up enough for a 1st down and then some. He probably picked up about 8 yards before he was finally knocked off his pins on the 27-yard line.
Beautiful inside reverse, some good power running by Barkell, and he did a 360 as he was hit. And that got him more than enough for the 1st down, and the Lakes retain possession. Their first down of the afternoon, and the ball is at the 27-yard line of the Lakes. A fresh 4 downs. Hand off Marcotte. Running room. Up the middle, up the right side of the 39. 1st down.
Marcotte running off a right guard, put a spurt of speed on once he got through the hole in the line. The Little Lakes the lineman there opened a hole through the big guys, and Marcotte picked up 11 more yards. It's going to be a 1st and 10 on their own 38-yard line.
2:20 left here in the first quarter. There is no score. The Lakes have come to life here with 2 quick first downs. Big third down play got them one of them. Marcotte just picked up 11 more. Keeper Peters, 40, down the sidelines, ridden out of bounds at the 49. He's close to a first down, and depending on where they mark it, looks like he may have it.
That was an excellently executed play by John Locus, who's working with 1.5 legs today. A big key block at about the 45-yard line, which sprung the quarterback for another first down. A gain of about 11 on that play. It'll bring up a 1st and 10 on Lake Linen's own 49-yard line.
Man, I can't believe the size of that defensive line of the Eagles. Peters calls the signals. Pitch out, short side, left side. Trapped in the backfield, Barkel for a loss of a couple. He didn't have much room to run either.
Yeah, the big All-State lineman, number 75, Mark Bennett, he got through and held him for a 2-yard loss.
So it brings up a 2nd down now and 12. The ball at the 47-yard line of the Lakes. They have picked up 3 first downs in this drive, and you have to remember, even though they're not even at midfield yet, the drive started back at about their own 12-yard line.
Yeah, this is probably about the 7th play of this drive.
Alrighty, Peters is going back to pass into the flats. It's picked off, intercepted, down at the 48-yard line. Number 24, Jeremy Piper, picked it off.
Yeah, that pass was intended for Jeff Miller, but it was way underthrown, and it was picked off by the Eagle defender in that area. It's going to bring up a 1st and 10 on the Lake Linen 48-yard line.
No score. 1:17 left in the opening quarter. Well, this quarter is hummed along here. Turnover, and the Eagles have the ball. Smith, the quarterback. Handoff, second man through. He slows a little bit, then tries to regain momentum, but Prilep is brought down after a gain of about 3 or 4.
Yes, he was tackled by Ewert and Locus and Miller after a pickup of about 3 yards. That line of the Eagles is really awesome. They charge out, and they're almost guaranteed 3 yards at a crack. I mean, with that type of mass, who can hold them back?
40 seconds now left in the first quarter. No score in the football game. The Eagles have a 2nd down and 6. There's the snap from center. Handoff left side, a little bit of running room, close to a first down. He breaks off the open, and he's finally tackled at the 25. Chris McCrimmon.
Yes, that was a very good run. He was almost tackled by 7 or 8 players and finally brought down by the last man, Marcotte, and they're going to bring up a 1st and 10 on the Lakes 30-yard line.
With 22 seconds left in the first quarter, that was the first big run of the day for the Eagles and their first down. Ball at the Lake Linden 30. 1st and 10. Smith hands it off, left side. Prilep, nowhere to go. He's stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Prilep was stopped by Jamie Koskela. Actually, he was stopped first by DeZelia right at the line, and that's going to bring up a 2nd and 10 from the 30.
Well, that's the end of the first quarter here at the Superior Dome in Marquette. After 1 quarter of play, it's Lake Linden Hubble nothing and Marion nothing. There's a handoff, and McCrimmon, the ball carrier, gained about a yard.
He was tackled by Andy Ewert after a pickup about a yard. It'll bring a 3rd down and 9 from the 29-yard line.
So we're just starting the second quarter, brought to you by Ace Hardware of Calumet. Ace is the place. 3rd down and a long 9. The ball just inside the 30-yard line of the Lakes. No score in this game.
It's a big play.
Each team has picked off a pass. And that last pass turnover by the Lakes is why the Eagles have the ball right now. And back to the 30 is Prilep, as he tried to go outside, nothing doing.
Yeah, he was met over there by the Lakes end And 3 of the linebackers, I don't know which one made the tackle, but he was Hell Kentela, I think, was the first player in. It's going to bring a 4th and 9 from the 30. This is 4-down territory, so we won't see a punt here.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting 4th down to see what they do. They may be a bit reluctant to put the ball in the air because they've already had one intercepted.
Oh, they'll put it up here. They have to.
We'll see if they do or don't. Wade Smith, the quarterback, makes the call. Pitch out, double reverse. It's a halfback option. There's the pass down in the corner. It's picked off by the late Barkell. He gets back to the 20.
That was an excellent pickoff by Barkell, but he should have probably just dropped the ball because it gives them about 20 yards worse field position than they would have had, Norm.
Well, that's certainly true. It's easy for us to say, though, I guess. But, hey, if you see a little bit of daylight, you might as well go for it. And Barkell, I mean, he really timed that pass.
Yes, he was a lot smaller than the intended receiver, but his timing was perfect to get in front of him and pick it off and scoot up the field. But I think the intended receiver gave him a shove, and that made him lose his balance.
You know, all they had to do, they didn't have to move the chains at all, just the down marker. Put it on the other end. 1st and 10 at the 20. Nowhere to go.
Mark got up the middle, and if he picked up a yard, if anything, or a half a yard, you just can't run up the middle on this team. They're just too big.
So that'll bring up a 2nd down and a long 9. Just under 10 minutes left here in the 2nd quarter. No score.
The Lake's been playing with poor field position the whole first half. That's probably part of their problem, Norm. It limits their attack at this stage of the game.
Right. They have not had any room to get anything going. They did pick up 3 big first downs, but that drive started at their own 12. And this next play here didn't go anywhere.
That was a fake pitch out to the outside, and Miller went up the middle, but he was met by the tonnage there, and he didn't gain anything. It's going to bring a 3rd and 9.
Well, that fake pitch out certainly didn't fool the defense of the Eagles.
Actually, it didn't fool them, but they're so slow they couldn't get out there anyhow. They're big, but they're kind of slow. But being big and slow, they happened to get in the way that time.
Yeah, it's an interesting way to diagnose that play. We have an official timeout now for a equipment adjustment here on the Eagles. You don't know how long these take, so we'll have to stay right here. Sometimes they just take a short second.
Big Mark Bentoki or Bentoco, I'm not sure the pronunciation. He's an all-state lineman. He's 6'0", 235 pounds. There seem to be working on his helmet on the sideline.
Mark, as Al mentioned, they have not had good field position yet.
He's sitting down, Norm.
3rd down, back to pass. Peters down the left side. He just threw that out of bounds. A big dude by the name of Bonico. We just got through talking to him about him.
One of them. But the other Bonico got his bell rung. He's on the sideline laying down. But Peters, he couldn't possibly see anything. It was like trying to look over the Empire State Building.
Yeah, 6'4", 230-pound junior comes in there from the side. And Peters' vision was completely cut off. So that brings up a 4th down, and they'll punt it away. Marcotte gets a good one. It's fielded at the 50-yard line by Smith, down to the 45, where he's brought down.
Excellent coverage again by the Lakes punting team for the low kicks. That's Jakovich again. He got down there, and he was down there the same time as the ball, and that wasn't a very high kick, Norm. I think Jakovich is playing a whale of a game today.
Well, let's see now. The Eagles go back to work offensively. They put the ball up twice now and have had it intercepted twice. Isn't that right?
Yes. 2 times Kiernan picked off one and Barkell picked off one. I don't think they're going to put it in the air. You'll see them doing their power running up the middle here. I think they're going to be patient now. They have 8 minutes left in this half.
Mark Bonico still on the sidelines, sitting down. So actually, it wasn't an official timeout at all. It was for equipment, that is. Here's the big guy again. That's Prilip, and he picks up a couple.
Yes, he was met by a few Lakes there. I'm not sure who made the tackle, but they're really doing a job of gang tackling on this, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 7. Actually, it takes a gang tackle when all them players are outweighed by 20 to 50 pounds each.
We have a timeout in the field, and we'll be back at the Superior Dome in just a moment. 7:57 left in this first half. There is no score. Better field position than the Lakes, and they start right now at the Lake Linden 41-yard line, 1st and 10. 2nd down, and 7. Handoff right side. McCrimmon, the ball carrier, gets about a yard or two.
Yeah, he was stormed on by Jamie Koskela after a pickup of a 2. It's going to bring a 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5 from the Lakes 41-yard line. Lake Linden is doing a pretty good job of gang tackling now on these backs. I guess they have to, Norm.
Well, the Kingsford Flippers are going to the other dome as they beat Muskegon 14-0 in the game prior to this one. It was Class B, wasn't it?
Class B.
Yeah, Class B. Okay, we have flag thrown from the Eagles' backfield before the play got started.
Yeah, I don't know what the indication is here. It's maybe too long and too much time or something. It's going to be marched off against the Eagles. It's going to bring a, well, it looks like a man in motion or illegal procedure. It's going to bring a 3rd down and 10.5 from the Lakes 44-yard line.
So the Lakes had a pretty good break there. 3rd and 10 for the Eagles. Ball marked at the 44-yard line of the Lakes. Just over 7 minutes left in the second quarter. There is no score in this game. Smith calls the signals for the Eagles. He's going back in the pocket, rolls to the right. He's going to put it downfield, into the air, and it is nearly caught and then dropped by McCrimmon.
Barkell raced over there and batted that ball away from him. Otherwise, that would have been a 1st down with 10 yards to boot. But another excellent play by the Lakes back on a passing. That quarterback has a heck of a lot of time to pass. The Lakes lineman can't get to him because of the type of big guys he has in front of him, Norm.
Oh, looks like apparently they're going to kick the ball away. And it's a 4th down and a long 10.
I know, there's a fake, or is that the big guy?
And it's kicked away from the 45.
Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go.
By Prilip, and it's fielded at the 10-yard line as Barkell crosses the 15 to about the 16. And again, the Lakes will not have good field position.
Yes, and one Lakes player down there a little slow getting up, but down on a 5. I didn't get the number, but boy, there's some hard contact out there between them big fellas and the fast Lakes.
Scott Backus coming off the field. He's okay. But the Lakes go to work now offensively again with poor field position. They do have the football. It's 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line of the Lakes.
Running a wishbone.
Peters starts the play up the middle. Marcotte dives his way close to a 1st down.
The Lakes go to the wishbone, and Jeff Miller on a quick opener up the middle picks up about 8 or 9 yards. We'll see where they spot the ball. That's indeed an 8-yard pickup. It's going to bring a 9-yard pickup. It'll bring a 2nd and 1. This is one of the breaks that the Lakes need so that they can get into the position on the field where they can utilize their entire offense.
So Miller with a big gainer, 2nd down and 1. Ball at the 26-yard line of the Lakes. Peters calls the signals. Handoff again. Up the middle. This time, is that Miller again?
It was the very same play this time, but it was diagnosed a little earlier by the Eagles, and there was a pickup of 5 yards. But however, it will give the Lakes a 1st down on their own 30-yard line with 5.5 minutes left to go in the 1st quarter.
Still not good field position, but some breathing room now.
Well, yeah, it's getting a little better. I mean, if they get out here a little more towards midfield, they can utilize the rest of their offense. How's that mic, Norm? Getting a little heavy?
Hey, boy, I tell you, these are like weights. I'm getting a workout here. I've got 3 mics I'm holding here. Here's Peters. Calls the signals, hand off to Marcotte, maybe 3. Yeah,
Marcotte elected to cut in rather than follow his blocker, and he picked up about 4 yards on it. It's going to bring a 2nd and 6 on the Lakes 34-yard line.
So a 4-yard gain with just over 5 minutes left now here in the 1st half. No score.
It's pretty hard to pick up the tacklers for this team. They're all just as big. Nothing stands out about them.
Peters over the ball. He rolls to his left. Fires it complete to Barkell at the 50-yard line.
Hold the ball. That was a good catch by little Barkell, a pickup of about 16 or 17 yards, and he really got nailed out of bounds. I thought we might see a flag, Norm.
Well, we did not, and we do not, but the Lakes have a 1st down at their own 48-yard line. They have still yet to penetrate over that 50.
It did stop the clock, however, so we got a chance now to see what the Lakes offense is all about. They have a 1st and 10 on their own 48.
4:56 left in the 1st half. Nice pass completion to Barkell. Long gainer. Handoff, Miller, left side, good for about 4 or 5.
Yeah, they're running that wishbone quite effectively. You give it to the first back through, and Miller on a quick opener, he goes up and he picked up 5 yards that time. Again, it's going to bring a second and about 5 on this time on the Marion 46-yard line.
Well, now this is the best field position the Lakes have had in the entire first half. 4.5 minutes left in this second quarter, brought to you by Ace Hardware of Calumet. The Lakes go to the ball. Center Koskela says something to Peters. Now they get set. Peters hands off right side, falling for about 3 or 4 yards.
Miller.
It is Miller.
That was Jeff Miller again. Instead of going up the middle, he ran off a right tackle. He picked up 3.5. It's going to bring a 3rd down and 1. I've been watching the sidelines where the All-State player Mark Bentico of Marion, they're still working on him. He came out of the game about 4 or 5 minutes ago, and now they have some of his equipment off.
Okay, big 3rd down play for the Lakes. And handoff left side. Marcotte's got the first down and then some.
Yeah, that was a very good cut to the inside by Marcotte. One of the big guys held him back. Otherwise, I think he'd have went all the way, Norm.
So it's a 1st and 10. That's the Lakes' 5th first down of the first half. And the ball is at the 37-yard line of the Eagles.
That was the 6th, actually, Norm.
6?
We just got one more.
Okay, 6. 1st and 10.
Coming this way this time.
Peters sets the backfield. Hand off to Marcotte. Left sideline, to about the 30, across the 30 to the 29.
A very punishing run by Marcotte on the intended tackler, number 46, who happens to be Steve Risky. Marcotte put his head down and blasted him out of the way. It's going to bring a 2nd and 4 from the 30-yard line.
Well, it's getting to be nitty-gritty time on the clock, too, Al, with 3 minutes left.
Yeah, the Lakes have all their timeouts left, so we still have a little time. We only have 30 yards to go here, Norm.
2nd down and 3 at the 30-yard line of the Eagles. Hand off to Miller. Oh, they tried to strip the ball. The ball does come loose. Let's see. Yes, the Eagles have it.
Yeah, that was Marcotte running up the middle, or Miller up the middle, and somebody got onto his right arm and pulled the ball away from him, and the Eagles are going to take over on their own 27-yard line.
So that takes care of that drive. A fumble on the play, and the Eagles take over, and so goes the Lakes drive. Now the clock says 2:45, and the Lakes still have an opportunity, really, to get the ball back here if they can hold.
Yes, well, there's 2 minutes and 35 seconds to go in this half. I think the Eagles will be content to run the clock out here and regroup. They haven't been playing their usual style that they played all year. The Lakes haven't been letting them overpower them.
Pitch out right side to Prilip, and Prilip good for a yard or 2, and that's it.
Excellent pursuit by the Lakes linebackers on that particular play, getting to the outside on Prilip, and they held him to about a 3-yard gain. It's going to bring a 2nd and 7 with 2 minutes and 8 seconds to go in the first half.
Well, they'll probably try to eat up as much time on that clock, Al, as you say, content to maybe go into the dressing room with the scoreless tie, just under 2 minutes left. But they have to pick up a first down. And the ball carrier this time, good for about 5, is Wade Smith.
Yes, he was almost stripped of the ball by John Locust there. Locust went by and tried to grab his arm, but he missed it. He managed to get his legs. That'll bring a 3rd and 4 on their own 34-yard line.
There, the ball carrier was McCrimmon from quarterback Smith. So the big 3rd down play here. If the Lakes can hold, they'll get the football back. The clock is counting down. 1:25 left in the first half. There is no score. So the big 3rd down play for the Lakes right now defensively. Smith calls the signals, hands it off. Nowhere to go. They hold.
Gazelier got in there as quick as the ball got in there and held the intended running back for about a 3-yard loss. It's going to bring up a 4th and 5 to go on a 37-yard line, and the Lakes call timeout.
And we'll take a timeout. We'll be right back. There's no score. Kell and Marcotte.
Go for the block this time. Come on.
And kicking the ball away will be Cade Prilip. He's standing at his own 20. There's a low snap. He fumbles it. He's going to have to run with it. And he gets back to the 29. The Lakes have the ball, 1st and 10.
It was a low snap that bounced up into his legs. He still would have had time to kick it, but he elected to run. The Lakes take over 1st and 10 on the 29-yard line. Or the 30-yard line. Actually on the 30-yard line.
Yeah, they mark it right on the 30. What a break here. A low snap from center was fumbled.
Hurry up, offense. Come on.
And it's a 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line of the Eagles with 50 seconds left. Peters is going to go to the air. He cocks his arm. He fires it complete to Marcotte at the 10, down at the 5.
A beautiful catch by Marcotte down in the sidelines. Brings the ball down to the 6-yard line where it's going to be a 1st and 10 for the Lakes.
Oh, me, oh, my. Let's see where they mark it.
A very key block by Jeff Miller on big 77, bearing down on the quarterback, gave him enough time to get rid of the ball. Marcotte made a beautiful catch, and it's a 1st and 10 with 34 seconds to go in the first half.
And here we go to the line. Peters calls the signals. Pitch out left side. Marcotte down to the 2.
Marcotte down to about the 2-yard line. It's going to bring a 2nd down. Lakes call timeout.
Ooh, Dougie. Well, let's rewind it here. The Lakes were driving, and it was Miller that had the ball stripped from him. The Eagles were held in 3 downs, and on the punt, it was fumbled by the punter. The Lakes got the ball at the 30, and now they're down at the close enough to call it the 3-yard line, where it's a 2nd down. And we have 24 seconds left in the first half of a scoreless game.
Yeah, the Lakes also have 1 timeout left, and they have 2 downs to try to punch it in from here with 24 seconds to go. Actually, on the last play, Marcotte had a good opportunity to get in, but he put his head down just a little too early. And I think he might have went in the end zone. It was an excellent tackle by number 33 on him.
And the tension is hanging over the dome. Roof isn't the only thing above us. Okay, the Lakes break huddle. Hang on. 2nd down.
Official timeout. We have an official timeout for an equipment adjustment on Marcotte. Okay, now we're set to go, Norm.
Okay, here we go. Hang on. 24 seconds left.
Running goal line to the right.
Peters calls the signals. Pitches out to Marcotte. Marcotte, touchdown! No flags, the Lakes are in.
Marcotte ran that ball so darn hard into the end zone that he ran through the end zone. There was an excellent block by the whole right side of the Lakes line. Actually, the Charge put the big boys back this time, Norman. That's going to make the score 6-0 with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
Well, Marcotte may be expecting a wall of big 250-pounders, didn't find it, and like you say, he ran right through the end zone. Right in the back of the end zone. So now the Lakes will go for the 2-point conversion. Needless to say, very big. 20 seconds left in the first half. 6-0, the Lakes out in front. Man in motion is Marcotte. Peters is going left. He's going to throw it for the corner. It's incomplete. So with 20 seconds left, the 2-point conversion attempt goes awry. But the Lakes get on the board 6-0. We'd like to say hello to Joan Dupy, who is a patient at Calumet Public Hospital. She has a couple of daughters who are cheerleaders here for the Lakeland and Humboldt Lakes. Joan is recovering at Calumet Public, so our best to her. The Lakes out in front, 6-0. That 2-point conversion, though, attempt failed, and it could loom big down the road a little bit, but hey, the Lakes are on the board.
Yeah, I think that may loom big, but however, we do have a little bit of momentum going into the second half, leading rather than a tie game. I mean, they took over, Norm, with less than a minute to go, and they did punch it in.
Well, actually, they did it NFL style, huh? They're 2-minute drill in a minute.
Well, yes, and then the key play on that drive was a perfect thrown pass by Peters to Marcotte, which picked up about 25 yards.
So, the key play, of course, was by the Eagles in fumbling that punt, the low snap from center. Okay, here's the kick. It's a low squiggling kick, and it's fumbled. It's picked up at the 31-yard line by Smith. Smith works his way across the 35, the 40, about the 41 or 2 before he's brought down.
Yes, he was tackled by a host of Lake players there. There wasn't a big run back, and the Eagles are going to have time for perhaps one more play. There's 13 seconds to go on the clock. They have the ball on their own 41-yard line. And I've been watching for number 75. Did he come back in, Gary?
He's not sitting on the bench, you know that.
Oh, he's on the sidelines now with his equipment back on.
So, at the 40-yard line, it's a 1st and 10, and time runs out, and that's the end of the first half. Well, the Superior Dome in Marquette will be back to wrap it up for you. Second quarter action has been brought to you by Ace Hardware of Calumet. We're at halftime. The score is Lakeland and Hubble 6, and Marion nothing.
Quick resume of that half was it seemed like in the first quarter both teams were testing each other, and the Lakes did get one drive going in that quarter for a few first downs, but they did lose the ball on around the 50-yard line. Actually, the Lakes did play the whole half in their own end of the game until that missed punt situation with about less than a minute to go at the half, when they did get some halfway decent field position. I think so far in the game, these two teams are playing relatively even. The Lakes are highly outsized by the Marion Eagles, but it seems like their quickness is helping them here. The Marion Eagles also did lose their star tackle, number 75, Mark Bentico, early in the second quarter, and whether his presence is going to be missed, we'll have to wait and see, but when you lose an all-stater, it has to be missed.
And the second half action is about to get underway here with the Lakeland and Hubble Lakes out in front, 6-0. Normally you would say in a 6-0 contest that there isn't too much excitement because there is a lack of scoring. Not so. The tension in this building can be felt all the way through it, and with every down from either team, excitement has abounded all during the first half.
Yes, and we'll start the second half, Norm, with the Lakes kicking from our left to our right, and with a 6-0 lead. If they can contain this Eagle team down on the other end of the field, maybe we can relax a little bit up here instead of being so tight that we can hardly breathe.
Well, it all remains to be seen here in the second half as the Lakes fans get on their feet, as the Lakes will kick off to the Eagles. And we'll see what the Eagles and the Lakes strategies are here in the second half. The Lakes scored with less than a minute to go in the first half after that miscued punt by the Eagles gave the Lakes the football at the Eagles 30-yard line, and they punched it in. Big pass play to Barkell on that drive. And here's the kick, and it's fumbled by McCrimmon, and he has to fall in inside his own 20.
That was the squib kick by Johnny Locust. He kicked it downfield, and it bounced up and bounced down. When it came to the intended back that was going to pick it up, it bounced up and hit him in the face, and he had a fall on it. So the Eagles are going to start with kind of poor field position on their own 18-yard line.
So 1st and 10 for Marion at their own 18. 6-0, the Lakes out in front. The winner of this game will meet Sand Creek at the Silverdome in Pontiac next Saturday morning for the Class D State Championship. To the line of scrimmage, Wade Smith, the 5'10", 160-pound senior quarterback. There's a handoff, left tackle, fighting his way for a couple is Cade Bryliff.
Yes, he ran off the left tackle. He was met by Bruce DeZellier and Jamie Koskleff after a pickup of 2 yards, so it's going to bring a 2nd and 7 with the ball on their own 21-yard line.
2nd and 7. Well, they marked the ball just over the 21-yard line. Smith calls the signals. And they go right this time for another yard, and that's it.
Yeah, that was McCrimmon running off the right side, and he was tackled in a one-hand tackle there by the Lake defender who's down in the field. I don't know who that is. It looks like DeZellier maybe, or Barkell. It's a 0 on the end of the number.
So we have an injury timeout on the field. We'll take a break. We're at the Superior Dome early in the third quarter. And meanwhile, back to the play. It's a 3rd down and 5 for the Eagles. Big 3rd down play for the Lakes. D And here's the handoff right side, spinning but not enough for a first down is Prilip.
Yeah, he was met by Johnny Locust and Jeff Miller. He picked up a couple yards, but it's going to bring a 4th and 2 on their own 26-yard line, and it's probably a good time to speculate on a punting situation, Norm.
It was very important that the Lakes hold there because they're going to get the ball back and they should have decent field position.
Yeah, and if they do, it'll be the first time today other than that punt that went awry for the Eagles in the second quarter.
Already. There's the snap from center. Standing at his own 15. Prilip kicks it away, fielded at the 40 by Marcotte, goes across the 50, and the 45 down to about the 42, 1st and 10 for the Lakes.
Yes, that was an excellent run back by Marcotte. He didn't have a lot of blocking on that particular one because it was a low kick, but he did return the ball about probably in the neighborhood of 20 yards, and it's going to give Lake Linden an excellent field position with a 1st and 10 on Marion 42-yard line.
So the Lakes defense holds Marion. Marion punts. The Lakes have a 1st and 10 from the Marion 42-yard line. They have the lead right now, 6-0.
I see Scotty Back is sitting on a bench over there like the Maytag repairman. Not too many players around him, but hopefully he'll be back next time the Lakes go on defense.
Now Kurt Rowe goes over to say something to him. Meanwhile, back to action. Here's Marcotte going to the outside, trying to make the cut. He couldn't, but he's tackled from behind as he crosses the 40 down to about the 38.
Marcotte had an excellent block by Johnny Locust, pushing the defender to the outside, and he elected to try to run on the outside rather than cutting in. And he did pick up about 4.5 or 5 yards. I think he might have picked up a little more if he cut in front of the blocker.
At one time there, it looked like he wanted to. But it turns out to be a pretty good gainer at that. 2nd down and 6 coming up. Ball inside of the Marion 40-yard line. Peters calls the signals. Handoff right side, quick opener for Miller. Miller to be a couple of yards shy of a first down.
Yeah, Miller picks up about 4.5 yards on that particular play on a quick opener on the right side before he was met by 4 or 5 Marion players. It looked like a real quick handoff there, actually almost as quick as the center snapped the ball. Miller had it.
So we have 9 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. The Lakes are out in front, 6-0.
Big play.
3rd down and 1.
Big play.
Peters might keep. Nope. Quick opener left side, enough for a first down. I do believe.
Yeah,
Miller the ball carrier. I got that through the process of elimination. I checked everybody else.
Yeah, Miller ran off the left side and run into a host of white jerseys. However, he did pick up about 3 yards. It's going to give the Lakes a first down on the Marion about 30.5-yard line.
So 1st and 10 for the Lakes. The Lakes lead it 6-0. Marcotte's 2-yard run late in the first half. 2-point try for the conversion attempt was no good. Peters now sets his team. Pitch out, left side, Barkell crosses the 40, 35, down to about the 22-yard line.
Yes, an excellent run on the left side by Barkell. He cut in at the last second and picked up an extra 3 yards. It'll bring up a 2nd and 2 with the ball resting on the Marion 22-yard line.
Jason Evans comes in with another play.
I think, Norm, that they got to keep running to the outside. I think them big guys are going to get tired of chasing them after a while.
Hey, if you can't find an opening inside, why not go outside? Let's see if they go outside right this time. Now they go up the middle, and Miller is stopped for a gain. Well, you might have enough for the first down.
I think Miller made enough for the first down. I think what's happening here, they put a man in motion that pulled the defensive men from the middle over to the left side, and Miller went up the middle and picked up about 2 yards. It's a first down just inside the 20-yard line.
Oh boy, that's the 2nd first down on this drive. 1st and 10 at the Marion 20-yard line. The Lakes out in front of the Eagles, 6-0. Josh Peters, the quarterback for the Lakes. 2 setbacks. Marcotte goes in motion as Barkell. Pitches to Marcotte. Marcotte is hit and is going to be dropped for a loss of about a yard.
Yeah, a swarm of players were playing on that side. I think they had that play pretty well diagnosed, Norm. I think Marcotte lost a yard. There was about 7 or 8 players going to that side. I think the Lakes went to the well too many times in a row on that side.
So it's a 2nd and 11, we'll call it. Ball at the 20-yard line of the Eagles.
They're going to keep working over that. I think the Lakes keep working over where 75 was playing.
75 is still out. Peters takes a pitch left side, hands it up right side, but there was a Marion player that was down, and he had to leap over him. That was Marcotte, and he only got a couple.
Yeah, that's going to bring a 3rd and 8 with the ball on the 23-yard line. And the Lakes been actually working over where 75 Mark Bentico has been playing, but the new replacement now is finally getting his composure, and they're going to have to start probing another spot, Norm.
Joe Kiernan comes in. He wide outs right. Let's see if the Lakes go to the air. The lone setback is Miller.
Halfback option.
And here's a swing around the right side. Peters keeps it. He's down inside the 10, at about the 5-yard line. And a first down.
That was an excellent play by Peters. He elected to keep it himself on a quarterback option. He ran it down to the 5-yard line. It will give the Lakes, actually on a 6-yard line, where it's going to give the Lakes a 1st and 10. He did have some receivers that went deep in that area, and it pulled the backside of the way temporarily, and Peters had a nice gainer.
So we have a 1st and goal. They mark the ball at the 6. The Lakes on the march. They have the lead 6-0. Peters checks his backfield. Takes the snap from center. Hands off to Marcotte. He skips past one player down to about the 3.
Yes, Marcotte jumped over the pile and landed on about the 2-yard line, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and 2 with the ball on the 2-yard line.
So it's a 2nd down, about 2.5, actually 5 minutes, 20 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. The Lakes are on the move. They have the lead right now, 6-0. Jimmy Koskela over the ball. Peters calls the signals. Handoff left side, plunging his way close but not in is Marcotte. Down at about the 1.
Marcotte's down to about the 1-foot line, if I see it right from here. His forward momentum took him to almost into the end zone. It's going to bring up a 3rd and about 18 inches.
Oh boy. Hang on, folks.
Here comes the Lakes goal line offense where it'll overload one side, and so far Marion hasn't been able to handle this.
Hang on. 3rd and goal from the 1. Set, snap, handoff, left side, touchdown.
I guess it was Marcotte. I didn't really know who carried the ball. That left half of the line on that goal line offense all charged into the end zone. There was about 6 Lakes players over the goal line, so I really didn't know who carried the ball. But Marcotte brings it in with 4:26 to go in the 3rd quarter. The Lakes are up 12-0.
Okay, now again a chance to go for the 2-point conversion. A Marion player was late getting off the field. The official held it up. Peters wisely took his team back to the huddle.
Yes, and here we go with a big point after attempt with the Lakes lined up with 3 wide receivers to the right side.
Okay, the lone setback is Miller. Peters rolls to his right. He's going to run it in. He's got the 2 points. Big 2 points.
Peters running with reckless abandon. That time rolled out to his right. I don't think he had any intention of throwing the ball in the end zone. He wanted it so bad that he powered a big number 77 and blew him out at the same time he went in the end zone.
Timeout. The score with 4:26 left in the 3rd. The Lakes 14, the Eagles nothing. Already 14-0 as the Lakes get set to kick off. 4:26 left here in the 3rd quarter. It's the short squibbling kick. It goes by one man, and it's fumbled down there, and 3 Eagles have to fall on it inside their own 30.
Johnny Locust got that ball working real well for him today on the kickoff. He's kicking squibs, and that one's bounced and rolled, and it hit a couple of players, and they fell on it on the 29-yard line. This actually gives the Lakes a little breather rather than take the contact from the big players on the kickoff, and that squib kick is working real well. I see that Marion is sending in a couple of their extra receivers now, Norm.
I'll tell you how important game this is, Al. The Michigan High School Athletic Association in Lansing is calling the station for the scores.
Well, that's good. That's good that they're calling the station. We like to get a little recognition in the Upper Peninsula, and Kingsford already has taken the UP downstate, and hopefully Lakes can follow suit.
Okay, 1st and 10. Here's a short pass in the backfield, and that's complete. Some running room for number 10, McCrimmon. He crosses the field, and he gains only a couple of yards. Actually, he's brought down at the 32. He cut definitely the wrong way.
That was a pass to McCrimmon in the right flat, or actually in the backfield, and he ran upfield about 5 yards, and he ran across the field about 30. He picked up 3 yards after running the ball, about 40 yards total.
Definitely not the end result he wanted.
I thought he might be throwing a halfback option pass on that particular play. I didn't really know what was going on there, Norm.
Well, looks like Marion's going to their bag of tricks, though, huh? So it's a 2nd down. Here's a handoff to number 33, and Prilep is brought down at about the 40, and he gains a couple.
Yeah, that's going to bring a 3rd down and about 4 yards to go for a 1st down on their own 35-yard line. It's going to be one big play for Marion at this time.
Well, Jamie Koskela getting up a little gingerly there.
I didn't happen to notice him. I was more looking at that little guy there, Barkell, on that particular play. He was in on that tackle trying to hold him from gaining additional yardage.
Now again, big 3rd down play for the Lakes D. Can they hold? It's a 3rd and 4 at the 35 of the Eagles. And it's a handoff right side, 1st down for Prilep across the 45 to the 46.
Yes, he was tackled by Barkell after a pickup of about 8 or 9 yards, running off the right side of the line, and it looks like the Lakes here are taking a physical pounding, Norm.
We have 2 minutes, 35 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. The clock is running.
Got to hold him here.
Well, the clock should be running. They won't. They want them to start running the clock. Now they do. Well, they got a few extra seconds on that one, the Eagles did. Very slow in starting the clock. We're in the 3rd quarter, 14-0 the Lakes. There's a mix-up and a loss on the play. So the quarterback and the halfback looked like they wanted to dance with each other.
There was a quick reverse on the inside, and it didn't fool Karen. It didn't fool Evans, Ewert, or a couple other guys. I see Jamie Koskela getting up real slow there and hard to stand up. I think he's taking a physical beating in the middle there now, Norm.
Well, that's 2 plays in a row where he's getting up a bit slowly. But he's hanging tough in there.
He's being double teamed.
Minute and 49 left in the 3rd quarter. Back to pass is Smith. Puts it in the air. He was hit, and it's nearly intercepted by Miller. As a matter of fact, in and out of his arms.
I didn't watch that play. I took a watch at Jamie out there, and he's being double teamed by 2 guys his own weight, so he got his work cut out for him today.
Well, the quarterback, Smith, I didn't see who hit him, but he was partially hit. That brings up a 3rd and 10. The ball at the 47-yard line of the Eagles. A minute and 41 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. The Lakes are up 14-0. They scored late in the 1st half, and they scored the first time they had the ball in the 2nd half.
Now they need the ball.
Now they need the ball. You betcha, and it's a 3rd down play here.
3rd and 10.
And a long 10 yards for the Eagles.
Too much time.
Snap from center. There's a double reverse. Up to the 49, and that's it. The ball carrier Wallers that time nowhere.
He was really popped by Johnny Locust there. Man, it's amazing that he got up with the speed that he did. Johnny Locust is a little slow moving himself, but he popped him good after a 2-yard pickup. It's going to bring a 4th and 8 with the ball on the Marion Eagles 49-yard line. And this here play will put the Lakes down in the hole if he gets the punt off.
Well, Prilep is going to have to punt it from inside of his own 40-yard line.
Watch the feet.
There's the snap. There's the kick, and it's a good one. And it's fielded by Marcotte across the 20, 25, 30. and he's ridden out of bounds at the 35-yard line, so that's not bad.
No, and he got an excellent block by Jamie Koskela on big number 78, and then he got a block by 64 Johnny Locust to spring him for about a 15-yard return against these bruisers.
Hey, just now, Joel Carradine, 5'8", 145 pounds, tried to pick up number 79, Josh Hoagland, who's 6 foot, 230, and Hoagland almost pulled him on top of him.
Well, I guess he tried to do his job, though. That's the main thing, Norm.
Yeah. So it's a 1st and 10 for the Lakes at the 35-yard line. We're in the last minute of play here in the 3rd quarter. Barkell goes in motion right side. The play goes up the middle to Miller, I do believe, and good for maybe a yard, and that's it.
Yeah, that handoff was to Jeff Miller on the left side of the line, and he picked up about a yard. Pretty hard to run against that side of the line, Norm. That's where the 3 biggest guys are.
Well, run to the power, isn't that what they always say?
Yeah, I think we're going to have to make the power run, though. We're going to have to run to the outside and make them do the running.
27 seconds left in the 3rd quarter from the Superior Dome in Marquette. The winner of this game goes on to the Silver Dome next Saturday. Peters calls the signals. There's a handoff to Marcotte. He goes right one player, and he crosses the 40-45, first down.
That was a run on determination alone by Marcotte. He got through the line. His lineman at least did give him a little hole, but he beat off about 4 or 5 of the big Marion tacklers to pick up about 11 yards and a first down on the Lake Linden 46-yard line.
And he limps back to the huddle. He runs it off, though, in place.
I do notice that those Marion boys are puffing a little too, Norm, so I guess even the big guys can puff.
1st and 10 for the Lakes.
Quarter's going to end here, Norm. No more plays.
And that's going to be the end of the 3rd quarter. Hang on. Still another quarter to go. At the end of 3, the Lakes 14 and the Eagles nothing.
Usual 4 here. That's all about the 4. When you hold a 4 at that, that's when you hold it on a 4.
14-0 as we begin the 4th quarter. The Lakes with a 1st and 10. Handoff, Marcotte goes outside, tripped up from behind, gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Yes, he was tripped up by number 55, who happens to be Rich Pickett, by one hand, and he got back to the line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up a 2nd and about 9.5 with the ball resting on the Lakes 47-yard line.
Lakeland and Hubble Lakes 14. The Marion Eagles nothing.
It looked like a little tentative or late handoff there. For some reason, the play didn't get going like they normally do, Norm.
Marion's only loss this year has been to McBain, and the team, they avenged that loss last week with a victory to get here. Barkell, the ball carrier, good for a couple.
Barkell on that little inside reverse picked up 4 yards. It's going to, or 3.5 yards. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 6 with the ball just over the 50-yard line now in Marion territory.
Time maybe to put her airborne?
Well,
who knows?
They got to keep control of the ball here as long as possible, Norm. That's the only way to run the clock down. When you're ahead, you have to own the clock.
Peters goes to his left. He pumps once, but he's going to keep it. It crosses the 50, the 45, to about the 43, and depending where he marks it, he may have it, Al.
I don't think they gave it to him. It looks like they marked the ball back about a foot from what he needed. Actually, no, they did give him the first down. It's first down with the ball on the Marion 43.5-yard line, or 43-yard line.
So there's that big first down of the board.
Yes, I give Peters a lot of credit today. He's been running with reckless abandon as a quarterback, and he's been picking up a lot of yards with them little scampers to the side when they really need it.
14-0. The Lakes out in front, just under 11 minutes left. Ooh, it seems like an eternity, doesn't it? 4th quarter. Peters hands it off. Miller up the middle to about the 36-yard line.
That was a up-the-gut run by Jeff Miller. He picked up about 8 yards, and he was finally hauled down by 4, or 7 yards. He was finally hauled down by 4 of the big guys.
Oh, it's a 2nd down and 4 at the Marion 36-yard line.
Boy, if they could only get that ball down closer, Norman, not only, even if they don't put it in, it'd make Marion a long way from the goal line on the other end, because this is the 4th quarter.
2nd down and 4. And it's Marcotte. Marcotte good for a yard, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Yeah, the Marion players now are playing steal the ball, and so far the Lakes have managed to hold on. It's going to bring up a third and about 1.5 yards, or just over a yard for a first down. The ball is resting on the Marion 34-yard line. I also noticed, Norm, that microphone is gay. I'll have to get on my face on the floor pretty soon if you can't hold that thing up anymore.
There we go. Hand off, right side, Miller. Miller's close to it. Looks like he may have it.
Miller got the first down on a quick opener up on the right side. He picked up about 3 yards. It's going to bring up a first down on about the 32-yard line.
It's a little better, got it up a little higher.
Actually, that play there, he gained a little more, but they gave him a bad spot.
But the Lakes are in a good spot. It's a 1st and 10 at the Marion 32.
And the all-important clock is ticking with 9 minutes and 30 seconds left on it. The Lakes have kind of held the ball here for about 3 minutes, Norm.
The other team can't score when you have it. Ball control is the name of the game right now for the Lakes. Here's a handoff, second man through. Marcotte across the 30, down to about the 28.
Marcotte that time was helped by one of the Marion tacklers who hit him from behind and pushed him ahead for about another 1.5 yards. So he made a 5-yard gain out of something that probably would have only ended up being a 2 or 3 yard gain.
Yeah, and I thought maybe it might have been a late hit, but he did help him. You're right.
Well, actually, they've been late hitting all day, but we haven't seen any calls yet. Every Lake Linden player that runs with the ball can be sure of being tackled by 2 and piled on by the 3rd.
Well, you know, the officials are a little slow on the whistle. They're letting that play completely come to a conclusion. Here's Jeff Miller spinning for a tough couple.
Jeff Miller up the gut for about 3 yards there, maybe 4. It's going to bring up a 3rd and very short.
But it's a 4-down situation here for the Lakes as the ball is at the 28-yard line of the Eagles.
And the clock keeps ticking.
You know, I think the Eagles might be getting a little tired.
Yeah, and if the clock would speed up, maybe they could get a rest, Norm.
Yeah. You wouldn't mind, would you, Al?
No, and I'd quit sweating, perhaps.
Handoff, Miller, quick opener, down to the 15.
That was that quick handoff again, Norm, we've been talking about all year. He takes that handoff so darn quick, and he's through the line before the other team recognizes he has the ball. He picked up about 6 yards on that one. It's going to bring a 1st and 10 on the Marion 15-yard line. And they're substituting some smaller and quicker players, and they're taking out some of the big guys.
Yeah, like Randy Wilson just coming out, 6'1", 260 senior. Now here's Peters to the line of scrimmage, which is at the 15. Miller fights for a tough yard.
Miller on that quick opener again. He advanced about 2 or 3 yards. We'll see where they spot it. And actually, he picked up 2 yards. It's going to bring a 2nd and 8 with the ball on the 14-yard line.
7:22 left now here in the 4th quarter. The Lakes have picked up a couple of first downs in this drive, but most importantly, they're beating Marion on the clock as well as the scoreboard.
Yes, they haven't thrown the ball or done anything that would stop it. Actually, they're just working straight ahead now.
Here's a pitch out to Barkell, crosses the 20, the 10, and he's ridden out of bounds at the 6-yard line.
Barkell that time did go out of bounds, but he did pick up a couple extra yards doing it. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 1 on about the 7-yard line, the way I see it, Norm.
Well, the smallest player.
It's a 1/2 yard.
So a 3rd and a short 1 at the 6-yard line.
The Lakes are playing a pretty conservative style of football right now, and they are making their way down the field inch by inch and close to the goal line.
7 minutes left. Handoff off the middle down to about the 2-yard line is Miller.
Yeah, that's going to bring up a first down, Norm, right on about the 3-yard line, and also the clock keeps moving. We're down to under 7 minutes to go right now, and it's also might have a chance of giving them a 3rd touchdown to make Marion have to work harder if they ever get the ball back.
Well, if they can punch it in here, Al, that'll pretty well do it. I know there's still a lot of time to go, but let's see what happens. Quick opener, Miller, he's close.
Actually, Miller got the ball in the end zone, but they're going to mark it on the 1/2 foot line where his knees. I was watching Jamie there, who's working on a big guy, how he moves him over for Miller to go by, and he's doing a good job of crab blocking a guy that's 10 pounds heavier than himself.
So it's a second down and a short one. Not much more than the length of the football to punch it in.
Now, sneaker.
Just over 6 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter. And Peters keeps it, touchdown. What a game he's having.
Yeah, Peters behind a big block by Jamie Koskela just fell into the end zone, and that puts the third touchdown on the board, Norm. And with 6 minutes to go, I guess I'm going to quit sweating.
Yeah, I'll tell you, for most of the day you could cut the tension in the air with a knife, but now you're not alone. The Lakeland and Hubble Lakes fans now have that feeling of confidence. Not that they haven't had it before, but the tension is erased. Running it in for the 2 points. What a run by number 15.
That was Peters again, and Peters is playing with reckless abandon. He ran to the left side on that extra point conversion, and he wasn't going to be detained by two guys that probably were weighed 100 pounds more than himself. He slithered into the end zone just inside the mark to give the Lakes a 22-0 lead with 6:01 to go.
And we'll be right back from the Superior Dome in Mark. Well, the Lakes are going. The Lakes are going back to the dome. The other dome. Here's Lucas Squibbler, and boy, the Eagles have had problems with it. That time they fielded it cleanly. Smith with it, crosses the 30 to 35. No, that's McCrimmon. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Marion Eagles at the 35-yard line.
That was a tricky play, Norm. When he knew he was being tackled, he handed the ball off to another back to continue to run, but his knee was on the ground, so they rule that it'll be 1st and 10 for Marion on their own 35-yard line.
But I'll tell you, if this score holds up, 22-0, people are going to say, well, Lakes dominated again, huh? Hey, this has been the toughest challenge of their season.
Yes, by far. I haven't seen a stronger team all season, even in Class C, Norm.
Okay, Smith hands it off left side. McCrimmon, a gain of about 3 or 4.
Yeah, McCrimmon runs off the left side, and more importantly, he picked up 3 yards, but by running it up the left side, he's keeping the clock going. Now the officials call a timeout because we have an injured player on the field for the Lakes.
Well, he's up already. Hey, I'm not... That's number 6. Is that...
DeZellier.
That's DeZellier this time. Hey, don't come and get me. Oh, referee sends him out for a police to play.
Actually, I think he had a Charlie horse or something. He's ready to go. He just needs a little work on his back leg there, Norm.
So the Eagles with a 2nd down.
Come on, clock, start.
We have just over 5 minutes remaining in this football game. 5 minutes away from a trip to the Silverdome. Quick pass in the backfield and a handoff from there and across the 36-yard line and down at the 37. The play gained him back to the line of scrimmage, all that razzle-dazzle.
That was the old hook and ladder, Norm, but the guy that caught the ball tossed it out to number 33, and instead of running straight up the field, he ran wide, and he was met by 2 Lake defenders, and they held him to a gain of 0.
Didn't they watch the films from last week's Lake Linden game? The hook and ladder doesn't work against that team.
I think Lake Linden sent him a Calumet film last week.
3rd down. Smith calls the signals. And there's a handoff in the backfield. Coming back up the middle for a gain of a couple is John Wallers. Another razzle-dazzle.
That was the old Statue of Liberty play. He goes back in the pocket like he's going to pass, and the back run behind him, and he dropped the ball in his lap, and he picked up a total of 1 yard. That's going to bring up a 4th and about 5.5 yards with the ball on their own 40-yard line with 4.00 time to go.
Hey, they got to start moving the ball upfield. They've just been going laterally.
It looks like a punting situation here, but I think it's a fake, Norm.
Well, we'll see. Well, he's going to punt it away.
They gave it up.
It hits at the 30. Marcotte at the 25, gets back to the 30, and runs out of bounds. The Lakes will take over with 3:36 left.
Marcotte punished 3 of the Marion defenders on that play, 77, 10, and 15. He ran them into a pile, and they creamed themselves.
22-0. The Lakes are out in front. Oh boy. What a ball game this has been here today. Incidentally,
actually, at this time in game, I can see Ron Warner talking the other night how this team isn't very fast, Norm, but they sure are massive.
Peters, who's had a career day today, hands it off left side. Clarkill? Miller to the 35.
Yeah, that was Jeff Miller over the middle. He picked up four tough yards. Apparently the Lakes are going to be content here to keep the ball kind of low. The clock keeps ticking. We got just over 3 minutes to go. Marion hasn't called a timeout. I think they've probably given up the ghost, Norm.
22-0. We have 3 minutes left to play. Handoff, Miller, quick opener to the 39. We would like to announce at this time that Monday morning, sometime we're going to start it between 6:30 and 7. We're going to have our radiothon to help raise funds for the Lakeland and Hubble team, cheerleaders, band, managers, and to raise funds. And you can contribute by giving us a call. We'll have football players at the studio all morning long. Coach Warner will be along. We'll have John Louie there, the principal, Dennis Christian, the superintendent. Cheerleaders will be there, band members answering your telephone calls and your pledges as the ball is given to Miller for a first down.
Yeah, that should about do it, Norm. That gives them another first down with just over 2 minutes to go in the game. Actually, 2 minutes and 20 seconds, and Marion has no indication of calling any timeouts. I think we'll probably run the clock out with this next series of downs.
In addition to what the state contributes, which does not even begin to overcome these the expenses to go downstate, we're going to try to raise somewhere between $7,000 and $8,000, which would be the cost for all of these players and cheerleaders and band members, and that'll be coming up Monday morning as Marcotte carries it up near midfield and runs out of bounds.
Yeah, Marcotte was tackled out of bounds there by number 35. The Lakes did pick up about 6 or 7 yards on that play. We'll see where they spot the ball. It's a 6-yard gain. It'll be a 2nd and 4 on their own 48-yard line with 1 minute and 54 seconds to go. The clock is stopped because the play ran out of bounds.
Well, I say to you people down there in the dark blue, and that's Lakeland and Hubble, stay away from those sidelines. We don't need that clock stopping anymore.
Well, I think he just tried to go out of bounds without getting nailed too hard. There's a bunch of guys around him.
Well, they're listening to me, though. Miller up the middle this time. Down to the 49-yard line of the Eagles.
Yeah, and it's pretty close. It brings up a third and about a yard with the ball on the 48-yard line or 49-yard line of Marion. They're still moving the ball, Norm. I thought they'd settle for just running out the clock, but they're moving the ball ahead at the same time.
Coming in, Marion was 10-1. They'll finish the season at 10-2. The Lakes will move to 12-0 on the season and a trip to that other dome across that little bridge down the road.
There's Jeff Miller straight ahead for another first down, and that should really do it, Norm. That puts the ball on the Marion 45-yard line with 1:14 to go in the game, and I thought we're seeing some clean jerseys going in the game right now. The whole Lakes second unit comes out on the field.
And the Lake Linden cheering section gives their first team a tremendous hand, a tremendous victory over a tremendous football team.
Yeah, their Lakes are celebrating on the sidelines while their second unit is celebrating on the field. I see little Rowe out there jumping and leaping, and he's liable to get caught for illegal motion, Norm.
Here's Hodges on a keeper, good for a couple. We have 49 seconds left, and the Bedlam will break loose here at the Dome.
He didn't want to lose yards, Norm, so he advanced it. We have 35 seconds to go, and that'll be the last 35 seconds on the Lakes Dome, and we'll move on next week to the Silver Dome. I quit sweating, too.
25 seconds away from a trip to the Silver Dome. Hodges hands it off. Rowe, nowhere to go. 15 seconds.
I guess that'll do it, Norm. That'll do it. Marion isn't calling timeouts, and I'm sure the Lakes won't call timeout. There's 8 ticks left, and the Lakes have won a decisive victory here today. 22-0 over the biggest team I've ever seen in high school.
Unreal. Stay tuned. Our post-game show coming up. The final score, the Lakeland and Hubble Lakes 22, the Marion Eagles nothing.
How many breaks left? We'll talk, take another break, and then come back and then the stats.
Get your passes down there, George. Normal color. Huh? Normal color. Trophy for each reason.
You get anything for a semifinal?
No, nothing. A win.
You get to go to the finals, eh? Well, if anybody had told me that the final score today would be 22-0, I would have said, crazy, man, you're crazy. If they told me that the Lakes A would beat this team by 3 touchdowns, I would have said, crazy, man, you're crazy. If you told me that they would shut down a team that averaged offensively and defensively on the line 235 pounds, I would have said, you're just totally crazy. But it happened today, Al.
Yes, Norman, not only did they shut him down, they outgained him, outdid everything to him. I was really impressed with the intensity that the small guys played against guys that are twice their size. I think when Gary gives you the stats here in a moment, you're going to see how lopsided the game really was. And Lake Linden this year was playing at size that's probably as big as any small college team. I think there's a couple of players out there that are going to be pretty sore after today, but with the win, I think the wounds will heal a whole lot quicker. We'll give you Gary to give you the second half stats, and we'll come back.
Not right now.
Oh, well, hang on, he ain't quite ready yet.
Give it to him yet.
Okay.
He's not ready yet. He's still adding them up here. We'll be back in just a minute, and then it'll be Gary's turn. Okay. The final from the Silverdome. The Lakeland and Hubble Lakes 22, and the Marion Eagles nothing.
Show you got, Norm.
I got it. We're going to be back in about 2 minutes.
Be here for what?
And
10-minute wrap or 5-minute wrap or what do you got?
You're done if you want to be done. But I got both of you guys are clear for the dome next week. If I don't talk to you before then, you go in the press area. Where all the pro media go on that, and then you go to the will call window, or there'll be somebody there with at a table, just like here.
And they start taking them tickets way out in the parking lot.
The parking is free.
Yeah, but I mean the ticket takers are way out. They're way out there. They're a long ways out.
Oh,
You got to get in a game with something.
the game.
You can't get in that place without a...
That's what I said. You go to the media,
there's
the
a
media
media
parking lot, and go in there. And you guys will have passes.
Okay.
Okay. Your names had already been submitted.
Okay.
That was Lake Linden's 7th shutout. What was that final? 22?
22 set. Now, what about Sand Creek?
They're big.
Same kind of team.
Wait up. I'll be there in a little bit. Where we parked? Okay.
They're both on the Sand Creek's undefeated too.
Yeah. So that's Lake Linden 499. 499. No, 450.
Is this the last break I have to take?
To 53 on the year.
You don't have to. I just want to mention to you if you wanted to become a part of it, Deb, if you wanted to cut a little promo on this Monday morning thing, or I can do it myself tomorrow.
For the whole game?
Yeah. No, just for this.
This first half.
Okay, we're back at the Superior Dome. 22-0 is the final score. This team is small, but not only has tons of talent, but it also has a whole lot of spirit, savvy, and stick-to-itiveness. Is that how you say that?
I guess so.
And that carries the team a long way. It's going to carry him down to the Silver Dome with plenty. Gary has, I think, some stats that you'll find pretty amazing.
Well, we got some interesting stats. Marion finally completed two passes in the second half for 11 yards. Prilip had 3 carries for 7 yards. McCrimmon 3 carries for 7 yards. Waller's 3 carry for 3 yards. So they had 17 yards on the ground and 11 yards in the air for only 28 yards. I guess you have to say the defense did a good job.
Yes.
And Lake Linden's the stats for the second half. We've got Peters had 3 carries for 20 yards. Marcotte 10 carries for 34 yards. Jeff Miller, the workhorse, 16 carries for 47 yards. Barkell had 3 carries for 19 yards. They had 120 yards on the ground. They did not have to put the ball in the air. Marcotte had a 3-yard run for the touchdown, and Peters a 3-yard run, and Peters had 2 2-yard runs for both 2-point conversions, bringing the total points to 22 points.
Okay, we'll be back with our final comments in just a moment, and some information that we can pass along to you about what's coming up next week.
There they go!